Assalamualaikum. This is Sehrish, and I'm going to start my presentation with the topic of biotechnology and ethics. Biotic ethics. In the 17th century, the philosophers Francis Bacon and Rene Descartes advocated a new way of doing science that would have the power to conquer nature for human benefit. The old science had seemed to be more concerned with contemplating nature than controlling it. In the contemporary world, biotechnology is providing the technology for controlling and changing living nature, including human nature. However, because biotechnological power over the living world offer not only the promise for doing good but also an opportunity for doing evil. Now, biotechnology. What is biotechnology? Biotechnology can be defined as the technical manipulation of living organisms or parts of these organisms to provide products and services to satisfy human desires. If it is defined in a broad way, one can see that biotechnology has been employed throughout human history. Now, history of biotechnology. The history of biotechnology can be divided into three periods: ancient, modern, and contemporary. In each period, one can see the power humans have acquired to manipulate nature, but one can also see the natural limits of power, which is constrained by the natural potentialities available in wild plants and animals, and the natural complexities of behavioral traits in the living world. Now, ancient biotechnology. Ancient biotechnology began when human beings started to domesticate plants and animals for human use. Throughout most of the history of the human species, human beings feed themselves by gathering wild plants and hunting wild animals. Then some people in a few parts of the world begin to produce food by cultivating domesticated plants and herding domesticated animals. Next one is modern biotechnology. Modern biotechnology arose in the 19th century as growing knowledge in the biological sciences was applied to the technological manipulation of the living world for human purposes. For example, Louis Pasteur, a microbiological explanation of fermentation as a result from the activity of microscopic organisms, allowed improvements in the brewing of beer and other industries that depend on using the fermentation by yeast to produce food and beverages. Now, contemporary biotechnology. The contemporary biotechnology that began in the last half of the 28th century arose from a deeper knowledge of genetics and molecular biology and has provided humans with great power over the living world. Even so, contemporary biotechnology is limited in its technical means by the physical and chemical limits of nature. Now, ethical issues. Despite its many benefits, biotechnology has provoked ethical controversy in six areas of moral concerns such as safety, liberty, justice, environmental nature, human nature, religious beliefs. Now, safety. Safety is a moral concern for human opponents of biotechnology who worry that its power disrupts the complex balance in nature in ways that are likely to be harmful. Individuals such as Jeremy Rifkin and groups such as Greenpeace have warned that genetically modified crops and foods could endanger human health as well as the health of environment. Critics of medical biotechnology fear that biotechnology medicines alter the human body and mind in the radical ways that could produce harmful consequences perhaps far into the future in ways that are hard to foresee. Liberty. Liberty is a moral concern for those who fear that biotechnology will give some people tyrannical power over others. The history of energen- energetics, in which governments use coercion to eliminate those judged to be biological unfit, illustrates the danger of encroachment on liberty. Libertarian proponents of biotechnology, such as Fomento and Virginia Pastoral, insist that there should be no threat to liberty as long as biotechnology is chosen freely by individuals in a free market economy. But conversations such as Leon Carr's worry that people could be coerced informally with social pressure, employers, and the insurance companies so that they will feel compelled to adopt biotechnology products and procedures. Justice. Justice is a moral concern for people who anticipate that biotechnology will be so expensive that only the richest individuals will benefit from it, so that rich will have an unjust advantage over the poor. Even the proponents of biotechnology, such as Lee Salin, worry that reproductive biotechnology eventually could divide humanity into two separate species based on the wealth or poverty of their ancestors, the gene rich and the gene poor. The gene rich, who would be genetically designed to be superior, the gene poor, who would be left behind as biological inferior being. Of course, in some ways, this problem is not unique to biotechnology because rich people always have unfair advantage over the poor. But the libertarian defenders of biotechnology foresee that in a free market society, prices for biotechnology products and services eventually will decline. Thanks.